in any engine, right? In case of petrol or diesel engine, in order to generate a power stroke, right? So it should complete four operations, four sequence of operations. That is suction, compression, expansion or power stroke, and exhaust stroke. Suction is also called as induction stroke, right? So in petrol engine, during the suction stroke, the air plus fuel, that is air plus petrol, from the carburetor will enter into the engine cylinder. Whereas in case of diesel engine, only air will be admitted during the suction stroke. That is the suction in case of petrol and diesel engine, right? In petrol engine, combination of air plus fuel will be admitted, whereas in case of diesel engine, pure air will be admitted into the suction stroke during the suction stroke into the engine cylinder. Whereas during the return stroke of the piston, that is bottom dead center to the top dead center, what will happen? Whatever the charge present inside the engine cylinder will be compressed. Okay, so that is when the piston is moving from bottom dead center to top dead center. And in case of petrol engine, when the piston reaching TDC, before reaching TDC, we are injecting the spark by using the spark plug. Thereby the combustion initiates, and so due to the burning of the charge present inside this one, right? So what will happen? High pressure, high temperature gases will be liberated, and those gases push the piston downward direction, right? So in this third unit, we are studying only that combustion part. When we are injecting the spark, after injecting the spark, what is happening inside the engine cylinder, how the pressure is varying, how the temperature is varying. These are the parameters we are going to study in this unit. Whereas in case of diesel engine, what we are doing, during the return stroke of the piston, the air will be compressed to the self-ignition temperature or auto-ignition temperature of the diesel fuel, right? So therefore, before reaching the TDC, by using the fuel injector through the fuel pump, the diesel fuel will be injected into the engine cylinder in case of diesel engine. So already the air present inside the engine cylinder will be at self-ignition temperature of the diesel. The moment we inject the diesel fuel into the engine cylinder, automatically the combustion starts. Okay, so as we know, due to the combustion, what will happen? So heat energy will be liberated. That high pressure gases will push the piston downward direction. That will be the expansion stroke in case of petrol as well as diesel engine. Again, during the return stroke of the piston. So during the compression stroke and during the expansion stroke, both the valves are in closed position, inlet valve as well as exhaust valve in case of petrol and diesel engine. Okay, and at the end of the expansion stroke, next exhaust stroke has to start. That is, the piston is moving from again from bottom dead center to top dead center. Thereby the exhaust valve opens. Therefore the products of combustion, those are the exhaust gases, will leave from the engine cylinder to the atmosphere. This is the working of petrol and diesel engine. Is it is clear to all? Working of petrol and diesel engine.
Yes, sir.
Please respond. Right. Now, so now as we see the syllabus, just now I told we are going to study about the combustion phenomenon in SI engine, the combustion phenomenon in SI engine, and the combustion phenomenon in CI engine. Means how the combustion is taking place in case of petrol engine, how the combustion is taking place in case of diesel engine. Okay, and what are the effects of abnormal? What is abnormal combustion? How it occurs? What are the effects of abnormal combustion, and how to avoid the abnormal combustion? And what is the octane rating of the fuel? What is the cetan rating of the fuel in order to avoid the knocking? And what are the design consideration for combustion chamber? So this is about the unit. Okay, right. So very simple unit. Okay, right. Now, so combustion in internal combustion engine, right? So if you see quickly the properties of different parameters inside the engine cylinder in case of petrol engine and in case of diesel engine. See the compression ratio. As we know, the compression ratio is, how to define compression ratio? Volume at the start of the compression divided by volume at the end of the compression. This is the compression ratio. In case of petrol engine, the petrol engines are low compression ratio engines. So the compression ratio varies from 8 to 10 in case of petrol engine. That is the reason the petrol engines are less bulky as compared to the diesel engine, because of low compression ratio. And due to the low compression ratio, what will happen? So the vibrations are less. The vibrations are less, and the engines are very smooth, and the size of the engine also small. Whereas in case of diesel engine, the compression ratio almost doubled as compared to the petrol engine. It is varying from 15 to 20. In order to do that, what will happen? The size of the cylinder will be bigger. The size of the cylinder will be bigger. Means, so how to define compression ratio? So this is the start of the compression. This is the start of the compression, and this is V1, and let us say this is the position of the piston at the end of the compression. Now this is V2. This V1 by V2 values, these things, compression ratio. Okay, right. So the compression ratio is 15 to 20. So because of high compression ratio, the size will be bigger. The size will be bigger. It is due to that more vibrations will come into picture. Because of bigger in size, the flywheel is bigger in case of diesel engine as compared to the petrol engine. In order to balance that, in order to balance the vibration, because the piston velocity is not at all uniform inside the IC engine. It is subjected to fluctuating velocity because at the extreme position, the piston is changing its direction. During that point of time, the velocity is almost zero. In order to balance all these things, the flywheel needs to be bigger in size in case of diesel engine as compared to the petrol engine. Next, coming to the air-fuel ratio. Air-fuel ratio in case of petrol engine varies from 8 to 10, 8 is to 1 to 10 is to 1. 8 parts of air is mixing with 1 part of the petrol, air by fuel ratio, right? 8 part of air is mixing with 1 part of the fuel. Okay, so and 14.7 is to 1 is the stoichiometric or chemically corrected air fuel ratio. This is stoichiometric or chemically corrected air fuel ratio. Okay, and in case of diesel engine, again it is almost double. So 15 is to 1 to 18 is to 1. 15 part of air is mixing with 1 part of the diesel. Okay, that is the reason the diesel engines are giving more mileage, because more amount of air will be used for 1 part of the fuel. And in case of petrol engine, it is 8 is to 1. 8 part of the air is used with 1 part of the fuel. So that is the reason the air fuel ratio is more in case of diesel engine. That too, we are getting more mileage in case of diesel engine. And the drawback is because of high compression ratio, vibrations are more. Okay, the size of the engine is bulky. Yes, the weight, everything will be more. Next, calorific value of the petrol. So the petrol calorific value is slightly more as compared to the diesel, and you can see it is 45,800 kilojoules per kg. Kilojoules per kg. And in case of diesel engine, 45,500 kilojoules per kg. It is 300 kilojoules per kg is less as compared to the petrol engine. And you can see very interesting parameter, flash point. Flash point of the petrol, it is minus 43 degrees centigrade. Even the petrol can burn if the temperature is minus 43 degrees centigrade. Whereas in case of what is flash point, the minimum temperature at which the fuel can give a lighter flame, right? Now, right? The fuel vapors present inside gives a small momentary flash. If you bring a spark nearer to that, it will give just a momentary spark, just fraction of seconds. That is called flash point. Okay, and in case of diesel engine, it is greater than 52 degrees centigrade. Very high in case of diesel. Okay, that is the reason we cannot use petrol in diesel or diesel in petrol. I'll discuss in coming classes. If you use petrol in diesel engine, what will happen? If you use diesel in petrol engine, what will happen? Why the engine will not work? Okay, right. And we can say SIT, self ignition temperature or auto ignition temperature, right now. So means if the temperature of the atmosphere, if the temperature of the, let us say, fuel is 260 degrees centigrade, petrol, then it will burn automatically without any flame. And whereas in case of diesel engine, the self ignition temperature is 210 degrees centigrade, is lesser than the petrol. But flash point is more than the petrol, but self ignition temperature is lower than the petrol. Okay, and the compression temperature, right? So during the compression, how much pressure will be, so how much temperature will be developed within the engine. So in case of petrol engine, it is 350 degrees centigrade, whereas in case of diesel engine, it is 600 to 700 degrees, almost double. If you see all the parameters, even compression ratio, air fuel ratio, and compression temperature, all are doubled as compared to the petrol engine. And compression pressure, it is around 20 bar, whereas in case of this diesel engine, it depends upon the compression ratio. If compression ratio multiplied by the 1 bar gives the compression pressure inside the engine cylinder, it will be always more than the petrol engine. Okay, and during the combustion process, how much amount of temperature will be developed within the engine cylinder? That is the combustion temperature. It is 1000 degrees centigrade in case of petrol engine, and it will be 2500 degrees centigrade in case of diesel engine during combustion process. Due to the combustion, the temperature develops, and the pressure will be 50 bar, and here the pressure is doubled 100 bar. Right? All of you, please take the screenshot of this one. Very, very important slide. This one, all the parameters particular to the internal combustion engines. Any doubt in this slide? Please ask me. Please respond, anyone. If you don't have any doubt, I will move to next slide. Students.
Sir, self-ignition
Yeah.
temperature is 210 means in the cylinder the compression means
Yes, means no. It's a means if the temperature of the diesel is 210 degrees centigrade, it will burn itself. If the temperature of the petrol is 260 degrees centigrade, it will burn automatically. That is the meaning of self-ignition. The temperature at which fuel can burn itself without any external aid is called its self-ignition temperature or auto-ignition temperature. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any doubt? Any other student, please respond. If not, I will go to next slide. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, in next slide, combustion in spark ignition engines. Okay. Right. So here the mixture will be the type of mixture we are using in SI engine is homogeneous mixture, and the method of ignition will be spark ignition, and the type of combustion is flame propagation. I will explain what is flame propagation, and the cycle on which the petrol engine works are constant volume cycle, and you can call it as Otto cycle. Okay. And the fuel is aromatics. Okay. Ring bond type, carbon, hydrogen, carbon fuels. Okay. Right. So now we will see how the combustion takes place in SI engine, right? So basically, combustion can take place in two ways, either normal combustion or abnormal combustion, right? So normal combustion and abnormal combustion. The combustion types of combustions SI engines are two types. One is the normal, second one is the abnormal. So the drawbacks of abnormal combustion is pre-ignition and detonation. We will see. First, we will discuss about normal combustion, how the normal combustion takes place in SI engine. Okay, right. So here, if you see this diagram, all of you please consider the diagram. So this is the piston. This is the piston, and this is the cylinder, and this is the valve, and this is the spark plug. This, let us say, this is the one valve, maybe cut section, inlet valve, let us say. Okay, right. So now, so here this black color one is the fuel present inside the inner cylinder. Okay. Now this is the end of the compression stroke. The position of the piston shows the end of the compression stroke. As we know, in case of petrol engine, at the end of the compression stroke means when the piston reaches TDC. When the piston reaches TDC, before TDC, what will happen? We need to inject the spark. Now we are injecting the spark. In first figure, we are injecting the spark. So what will happen the moment you inject the spark? Can you tell me what is the voltage of the spark? Anyone?
32,000 volts.
Yes, the voltage varies from 15,000 to 40,000, depends. 15,000 volts to 40,000 volts. This can be taken care by your ignition system. Where in ignition system we have primary winding, secondary winding, etc. We already discussed. Okay, so this is the voltage inside the engine cylinder. Now the spark is injected. Now you can see in second figure, you can see some curves. These are called flames. Means the first flame is propagated at the spark plug, and it will travel towards the end of the combustion chamber. What is combustion chamber? Combustion chamber is nothing but it is the space between piston and cylinder. The space between the piston and cylinder available for the combustion of the fuel is nothing but your combustion chamber. Okay. Now, so you can see here these are the flames, and these flames are traveling like this. Means this is layer by layer. The fuel is going to burn layer by layer, and what will happen? It is moving a forward direction. Because of this layer, this fuel will burn. Because of this fuel will burn, like that. So it will travel along the length of the combustion chamber. You can see, right? It is moving like this, and after some time, it will reaches to the end portion, and it is completed. Now this is called normal combustion. In normal combustion, how many flames are there? Only one flame, friend, that is issued by the spark plug, and it will travel complete the combustion chamber. Please try to understand the terminology. Okay, right. Only one flame front will be liberated by the spark plug, and that flame front will travel whole over the combustion chamber. That is in case of normal combustion. Okay, is it clear? This is called flame front. Flame front. Okay, here the flame travel across the combustion chamber from start spark position and spread all over the chamber till it reaches to the end or same direction. The combustion which starts with a timed spark and initiates a flame front, and the turbulent flame spreads away from the spark discharge location by a speed is called flame speed. The speed at which this flame front travels from spark plug end to the combustion chamber end is called its flame speed. Okay, right. I will discuss about this thing in the next slides. Right, this is this time being. So in case of normal combustion, there are three stages will be there. Okay, so basically we can say that preparation phase and propagation phase. Preparation phase and propagation phase. Preparation phase and propagation phase, right? So in preparation phase, all chemical reactions are taking place. Okay, it will be, just remember, two stages will be there. Okay, preparation and propagation. Now, so ideal four-stroke SI engine combustion phenomena. Combustion phenomena according to theoretical one. In SI engine, combustion phenomenon in SI engine, theoretically, right? So here, what is this combustion phenomenon? It shows, it is combustion phenomenon SI engine is nothing but it is the pressure versus crank angle diagram. Pressure versus crank angle diagram. We are going to plot pressure versus crank angle diagram. What it shows that? It shows the pressure inside the engine cylinder. Am I audible? It shows the pressure inside the engine cylinder with respect to the position of the piston. That is the crank angle, right? So now here the pressure, how the pressure is developing inside the engine cylinder with respect to position of the. Am I audible, students?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Hello. Yeah, right. Now, as we know, this is top dead center. This is bottom dead center. Sorry, this is bottom dead center. This is bottom dead center, and this is top dead center. Again, this is bottom dead center, right? Now here we are showing the start of the compression. When the compression stroke will be starts, when the piston is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center. When the piston is moving from VDC to TDC, what will happen? The compression starts inside the engine cylinder. Right now, so due to the compression, what will happen? Due to the compression, the pressure and temperature inside the engine cylinder of the charge will increase. Now you can see when the piston is moving from BDC to TDC, the pressure is increasing. You can see here the low pressure because this vertical line shows the pressure. Vertical line shows the pressure, horizontal line shows the crank angle. That is nothing but position of the piston. Okay, right. So therefore the pressure is increasing, right? And according to theoretical one, the spark at the end of the compression stroke, exactly at the TDC, the spark needs to be admitted. The spark needs to be injected. This is according to theoretical one. Okay, so here at point B, A to B, the compression, at point B, we are injecting the spark. So due to that, combustion begins and the pressure rises. So you can see there is no change of the position of the piston. B to C, the position of the piston is constant. The piston is at top dead center. There is no change in the position of the piston. It is exactly at the top dead center. The pressure is rising to the peak pressure. You can see at point C, the pressure is maximum. At point C, the pressure is maximum. Thereby, it's completed the combustion and the piston moving from TDC to BDC, that is top to bottom. What will happen? So that is the expansion or power stroke. So during that stroke, what will happen? The pressure is keep on decreasing. You can see C to D is the expansion stroke. Again, the exhaust will be right. So this is the theoretical or ideal 4-stroke petrol engine combustion phenomenon. Is this diagram is clear? This is according to theoretical one. According to theoretical one, the spark needs to be injected exactly at the top dead center, and thereby the sudden rise of pressure takes place at that point. Then the expansion will continue. Yes, students, clear this one?
Yes.
Theoretical one, ideal one. Okay, now, whereas in case of actual case, now this is, if you see, there is so much variation between this figure and this figure. I'll explain. Very, very important for a essay, right? You will get, I told 5 questions will be there from this unit. Okay, I will write here. So one will be combustion phenomenon in SI engine. Combustion phenomenon. This is combustion phenomenon means pressure versus crank angle diagram. Combustion phenomenon SI engine, that is the one thing. Next, knocking in SI engine. Knocking in SI engine. In the same way, third one, same question, CA engine. Fourth one, same question, CA engine. Means combustion phenomenon SI and CA engine 2 questions. Knocking in SI and CA engine 2 questions. Then fifth question, factors affecting abnormal combustion, that is knocking. In IC, that is SI or CA engine. Clear? These 5 questions are important. You will get compulsory one essay. Combustion phenomenon SI engine and combustion phenomenon CA engine. How the abnormal combustion occurs in SI engine, that is the knocking. How the knocking occurs in CA engine, and how to avoid that one. And what are the factors that affecting the abnormal combustion. So these are the 5 questions. Okay, right now. So here in actual case, the stages of combustion in SI engine, as I told, there are 2 stages will be there: preparation phase and propagation phase. Preparation phase and propagation. In preparation phase, we have ignition lag. In propagation phase, we have propagation of the flame and afterburning. Total 3 stages are there in a SI engine combustion phenomena, right? So ignition lag, that is A to B in figure, and propagation of flame B to C, and afterburning C to D. Total 3 stages will be there. A to B 1 stage, B to C 2nd stage, C to D, right? So A to B is called preparation phase, and B to C plus C to D is called propagation phase. Preparation phase is the ignition lag period, and propagation phase is nothing but propagation of the flame as well as the afterburning. You can see on y-axis, as I told, it is the pressure. On x-axis, it is the crank angle, and this is the bottom dead center. This is top dead center, and again we have somewhere here bottom dead center. Okay, right. Now, what is point A? Point A, according to theoretical one, now I am drawing the exactly top dead center dotted line. This is 0 degrees line, means the red color dotted vertical line shows the position of the piston at top dead center. According to theoretical one, if you see, the spark needs to be injected exactly at TDC, but in theoretical, in actual case, it's not happening. Actual case, A is the ignition of the spark. We are injecting the spark injection. We are injecting the spark at A, but at point B, the pressure rise starts. Means at point A, we are injecting the spark, and at point B, actual combustion begins. There will be delay from injection to the combustion occurs. That is called ignition delay. That phase is called preparation phase. During this phase, growth and development of flame front will take place. Growth and development of flame front will takes place. Actually, if you see at what angle before TDC we are injecting the spark, if you see, it is around 15 to 18 degree. If you see, this is 20 degree. and this is 18 degree, right? So we are injecting the spark before the TDC. We are injecting spark before TDC, that is 15 to 18 degree. We are injecting spark at A, but actual combustion is taking place at B. That delay period is called ignition delay. Do you know how much this one? Very, very small time, milliseconds. 2 to 3, 2 to 5 milliseconds. That is also countable. Remember that milliseconds gap, this one. It's not minutes or seconds or hours. Very, very fraction of seconds, millisecond into 10 power minus 3 second. 3 into 10 power minus 3 second is also a ignition lag. Because so during the combustion process, so our aim is to complete the combustion rapidly. In no time the combustion has to complete, means all the fuel present inside the engine cylinder should burn instantaneously, thereby we will get the high power. Suppose if the fuel igniting slowly, though the so what will happen, combustion will take place completely, but we don't get the enough thrust due to that. That is the reason the combustion has to take place rapidly, suddenly, right? Immediately the combustion has to complete. That is the reason this 3 milliseconds also a lag. Okay, right? Clear A to B regarding ignition lag. During ignition lag, what will happen? Growth and development of flame current will take place. That is the ignition delay period or preparation phase, right? We can see at point B, the actual rise of pressure will take place. At point B, actual rise of pressure takes. Now, at what position the combustion begins? Combustion begins 8 degrees before TDC. The combustion has started 8 degrees before TDC. Now you can see from B there will be a line. From B there will be a line. That line is called motoring curve. Motoring curve is nothing but if there is no spark inside the engine cylinder, how the pressure will be varied inside. That means, let us say for our bikes, we stop the ignition, but we are cranking the engine. By keeping the key off position, ignition off position. How the pressure will be varied, how the pressure will be developed inside the engine cylinder. That is curve is called motoring curve. Non-motoring curve is nothing but non-firing curve. Non-firing curve means no firing inside the engine cylinder. Only just we are cranking the engine. Okay, that is about motoring curve. Okay, now. So now actual combustion starts place at B and it starts riding and we can see peak pressure at C. This phase is called propagation phase. This phase is called propagation phase, right? Now during ignition lag, what will happen? At point A, as I told, the spark ignition starts, okay, right? And due to that, what will happen? A nucleus of flame which is generated by the spark plug. So a flame will be generated by the spark plug, and what will happen? And because of this, the mixture immediate to the spark plug will start burning. Yes or no? Here we are giving the spark. Therefore, whatever the charge immediate to this one, it starts burning and produces the high temperature. Suppose if the mixer is rest, if the mixer inside the cylinder is rest position, what will happen? The flame front means the flame will move slowly, will move steadily, will travel steadily. Suppose if the charge is unstable, if the charge is turbulent within the engine cylinder, what will happen? Steady motion does not exist. Steady motion of the flame is not possible. Okay. At point A, ignition starts, that which is 15 to 18 degrees before TDC, where the chemical reaction starts. But in theoretical one, it has to be at TDC, but actual case it is 15 to 18 degrees before TDC. So here it is starting before TDC and it is called ignition lag. We are starting before TDC, and that is the reason we are calling it as ignition lag. And in this A to B, what will happen? The chemical reactions occurs. Yes or no? Chemical reactions occurs, and due to this, a small pressure will be raised. You can see A to B pressure rises due to the chemical reaction. Small pressure, maybe some temperature also. Small pressure and temperature will be taken place at A to B, right? Whereas in case of flame propagation phase, as I told, right? So let us say this is your combustion chamber. This is your combustion chamber. Here we have spark plug. This is my spark plug. What will happen due to the spark? The charge near in front of the spark plug will start burning. Let us assume the fuel will be inside the combustion chamber will be layer by layer. Let us say we are assuming the fuel will be with along layers. Okay. Now what will happen first? This layer 1 will be burned. Due to that, what will happen? Heat will be liberated, and this will affect the second layer. Now the second layer will start burning, right? So now the second layer will burn, and due to this, the third layer will be burned, and due to this, fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth, seventh. Right now means once the chemical reactions attains at point B, once the chemical reactions attend at point B, the flame starts traveling rapidly. Because of that only we are getting this much amount of peak pressure. Okay, rapidly. Okay, so here we are assumed that the fuel will be inside the engine cylinder will be layer by layer. Okay, right. So what will happen? First layer will be burned due to the heat liberated by the burning. The second layer will be burned, and due to the heat liberated by the second layer, third layer will be like that. The flame front will travel to the other end of the combustion chamber. Yes or no? Right now, right. So what will happen here? We observe that the whole fuel cannot burn at a time. It is right now the fuel is not burning at a time. So right, so it will follow flame to flame, otherwise layer to layer. So due to this, the pressure and temperature rises continuously, and maximum pressure reaches points. This is called propagation of the flame. Propagation of the flame, you need to explain this mechanism, layer by layer mechanism, how the flame front is traveling. Okay, right. And we can see that the flame propagation starts at what angle? 8 to 10 degrees before TDC and ends after TDC, that is approximately 15 degrees after TDC. Means what is the total angle of the crank here? This is 8 plus this 15, total 23 degree, total 23 degree for the second phase. For the first phase, what is the total degree? Here it is 8, here it is maybe let us say 18, 10 degree, 10 degree for the ignition lag, and this 23 degree for the propagation of the flame. Okay, during this phase, during this propagation of the phase, 90% of the fuel will burn. Out of 100%, 90% of the fuel will be burned during the propagation of the flame. Right now, right. So next, what will happen after C? What will happen? 10% of fuel will be left without burning. Right now, what will happen due to the reassociation? Due to the reassociation means the complete pressure is not dropped at point. See, now this is the expansion stroke. Yes or no? Right now, now this is the expansion stroke. Right. So here during the expansion stroke also, whatever the 10% of the fuel present without burning, that will burn due to the reassociation, due to the mixing of the burnt charge with the unburnt charge. Okay. So no pressure rise during this zone. Right now, only pressure drop will take place. Though the 10% of fuel is going to burn during this period, but no question of pressure rise because very small quantity of the fuel. Right? So this is the after burning phase. During after burning, so what will happen? Whatever the charge present inside the cylinder, that will burn due to the reassociation of the fuel. Very, very, very important for essay question. Any doubt, please ask me. You should explain about the 3 stages: ignition lag, that is a preparation phase, and propagation of the flame, and after burning, that is the propagation phase. Please ask me if you have any doubt in this slide. Students, please respond. This is the actual. Yeah.
Can you show the ideal diagram?
Ideal. Right. This is the ideal or theoretical. Now, if you see at point B, we are injecting the spark. At point C, B to C, the actual combustion takes place. But in a practical case, here we are injecting the spark, that is 18 degrees, approximately 15 to 18 degree before TDC, we are injecting the spark. But actual combustion begins at point B. During A to B, what is happening? Chemical reactions are taking place. Yes or no? Right now, so small pressure rise will take place A to B.
Yes, sir.
Still any doubts? Please ask me. Otherwise, I will go to next. Right. Now, the same thing is written over here. Ignition delay. See, what is the time? 1.5 to 2 millisecond. 1.5 into 10 power minus 3 seconds. This is the time period for the ignition lag. Okay. So, the ignition lag plays a major role in working of IC engine. The abnormal combustion. Why the abnormal combustion takes place? Due to the ignition lag only. We will discuss in coming slides. So ignition lag is a very, very important parameter in working of IC engine. Okay. So the first stage corresponding to the time for the formation of self-propagating nucleus of flame. It is the formation of self-propagating nucleus of the flame. It is a chemical process. Chemical reactions are taking place. It is a chemical process which depends upon what nature of the fuel, that is the quality of the fuel, and what is the pressure and temperature inside the engine cylinder, and right, what are the residues present inside the engine cylinder, because it already, let us assume, it already completed one cycle, it already completed exhaust stroke. At the end of the exhaust stroke, also certain amount of burnt gases present inside the engine cylinder, that will also affect the ignition lag. That is the concentration of residual. Residuals means the previous cycle gases, exhaust gases present inside the engine cylinder, and the chemical reaction rate of the petrol means it depends, the calorific value of the fuel. Okay, and it is also influenced by the turbulence, how the charge will be under motion, whether it is rest position or motion. These are the factors that affect the ignition lag. Next, the main process, that is the propagation phase, that is flame front propagation. Okay, right, flame front, the propagation of the flame throughout the combustion chamber during this period, as we know, right? So the flame is propagating from one end to other end. It is also a chemical process. It depends upon the composition of the mixture and temperature and pressure and degree of turbulence. Okay, and the third stage will be after burning, the chemical reactions when the flame front reaches the cylinder walls. When the mixture is not completely homogeneous, cause the temperature to rise a point maximum at G following the point of pressure at C. This is the maximum pressure point, and if you see the corresponding temperature, this is the corresponding temperature, right? So the maximum temperature, this is the combustion temperature, right? So combustion temperature, how much in case of petrol engine? 1000 degrees, right? Let's go back to the slides. Combustion temperature in case of petrol engine. Combustion temperature is 1000 degrees centigrade. The combustion temperature is 1000 degrees centigrade, and combustion pressure is 50 bar. Okay. Right. And this stage resembles the ignition delay period because it depends mainly on the rate of chemical reaction, not the turbulence. So the maximum work and power of cycles can be obtained in the second stage of combustion. As I told, 90% of the fuel is going to burn during the second stage, that is the propagation of the flame. Okay, and begins and ends symmetrically with respect to TDC. This can be achieved by adjusting the ignition time. Right. Now, what are the factors that affects the normal combustion? Okay, right. So first one is the flame speed. You can see here two figures, pressure versus time and pressure versus the crank position. Right here, you have three different colors. You can see red, yellow, as well as the some white one. Okay, white or some blue. Okay, now so here VF suffix for the flame velocity, flame speed. Okay, so the turbulent flame spreads away from the spark discharge location by a speed is called flame speed, and effect of flame speed on cylinder pressure. Now, let us say this is the pressure inside the engine cylinder. Okay, right. So if you increase the pressure, see from here to here, the pressure inside the cylinder is increasing. So what happens to the velocity of the flame? Means velocity means with respect to time. You can see how fast it is spreading. Now this is the peak pressure. Okay, this is red one, and this is the second one. This is VF1, VF2, VF3. Okay, now the corresponding flame velocity, right? Now yellow colored one is corresponding this VF1. This is the flame velocity, and VF2. This is red one actually. This is red color. This is red VF2, and this is blue color, VF3. Right? So this is yellow, okay, VF. Now if we observe these three, what is happening here? This is motoring curve, okay? Anyone? Where the pressure rise is more during combustion, for which flame the pressure rise is more? VF1. What is VF1? This is the VF1, right now. Means VF1 means if the pressure inside the combustion chamber is more, right? So because the time is less for that, the time for the flame front to travel is less, thereby the pressure is also more. Means that if the velocity of the flame front is more, means within a less time it will travel from one end to other end, thereby the pressure rise is also more. You can see yellow one is having higher pressure as compared to this and this one. Okay, so means the flame should have high flame velocity. In order to achieve high flame velocity, what about the pressure? Pressure should be high inside the combustion chamber. If the pressure inside the combustion chamber is more, the flame speed will be more, thereby the combustion pressure, right? So this pressure means from here the actual expansion starts. If the pressure rise is more, automatically the output of the engine is also more. Okay, this is that. Now, how the flame velocities varies with respect to different types of the fuels, right? If you see methane 37.3, ethane, propane, and if you see hydrogen having high flame velocity, though we are not using because it is flammable, right? Explosions are taking place. It is explosions are very dangerous. Hydrogen gas is dangerous gas. That is the reason we are not using hydrogen. Okay, and the carbon monoxide flame speed is 42.9. Even our fuel will be combination of hydrocarbons. The hydrogen flame is having higher velocities. Right. What are the factors that affects the flame speed? Okay. So first one, load, full load and part load. We will see. So by throttling, what will happen? If you throttle, the initial pressure and the pressure at which the point of ignition decreases. If you throttle, what will happen? More amount of fuel will be admitted into the engine cylinder. Okay. So due to that, what will happen? So the pressure decreases and the gases, residual gases in the mixture increases, because more amount of fuel we are admitting due to the throttling. Okay, and due to that the air is not sufficient to burn completely, therefore the residual gases will be present inside the engine cylinder. Okay, so the content, the mixture will be increased, residual gas mixture will be increased. The first phase of combustion, that is what is the first phase of combustion? The first phase of combustion is nothing but ignition lag. The ignition lag, that is ignition delay, we can say. The first phase of combustion prolongs and the combustion process loses its stability. To overcome this difficulty, what will happen? A rich mixture is used which may ensure proper combustion, but the combustion process may continue during the substantial portion of expansion. Right now, right. So what will happen? Due to the residual mixture, residual gases present inside the engine cylinder, what will happen? We require, in order to we require rich mixture. Rich mixture is used, right? Right. This is for proper combustion, but the combustion process continues during the substantial portion of the expansion stroke. So during expansion also some portion of the fuel will be burned due to the rich mixture. Whereas in part load condition, the combustion of the fuel in SI engine is poor. SI engine is poor in part load condition, causing a large amount of products of incomplete combustion in the exhaust, including CO, NO, everything, carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, and hydrocarbons, which are responsible for the air pollution. The part load combustion is improved by using rich mixture, but if you use rich mixture, what will happen? It causes the wastage of the fuel. Okay, when the load is reduced, the power of engine is also reduced. And turbulence, always the charge inside the engine cylinder should be in motion. Then what will happen? If the charge is under motion, the mixing will be rapid, whereby the combustion can complete in less time. I can say ignition delay can be reduced. The turbulence helps in mixing and accelerate the chemical reaction, and this is mainly due to the increase in the surface area of the flame, which leads to increase in the rate of reaction. I'll give a small example here. everyone will know about campfire, right? Yes. So, right. Let us say by you, yeah, campfire. Okay, right. Let us say we have grass over here, layer by layer. This is dry grass, dry gas. Okay. Now, so by using the spark, we are injecting by using spark, we are burning the top layer. Now, so let us say if you ignite at one point and if you leave, will the complete grass will burn? If you take not only grass, if let us take a bunch of papers. If you ignite the top paper, it won't go to the bottom completely, right? So for that, what you need to do? You need to take some stick, right, and you need to move it up and down like that. You need to shuffle it. You need to shuffle it. Then only it will burn completely. Agree? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Means what is happening is if you don't disturb this one, whatever the oxygen, right? So the oxygen is available only for the top layer, right? If you don't move, what will happen? So the oxygen is available for only for the top layer, and that layer will burn. Suppose if you rearrange this one, if you shuffle this one, what will happen? The bottom layer will come to the top, and there will be sufficient oxygen for combustion. Because in order to complete the combustion, oxygen is must. Oxygen, right? If there is insufficient oxygen, what will happen? The amount of fuel will go as waste without burning. The same thing here means always the air fuel mixture inside the engine cylinder should be in motion. It should be in turbulence condition. It increases the chemical reaction, and it also increases the surface area of the flame. That is the reason, surface area of the flame, which leads to increase in the rate of reaction. And the flame speed increases with increase in the turbulence. If you shuffle this, what will happen? The fire will be more rapid. Okay, and even engine speed also. If the engine speed is more, the flame speed is also increased, because if the speed is more, the turbulence is also more. You can see graph. So flame speed versus engine speed. Even engine speed is increasing, the flame speed is also increasing with that respect to the engine speed. Almost we can say the engine speed is varying linearly with the flame speed is varying linearly with the engine speed. Now you can see this is 1000 rpm, 2000 rpm, and 3000 rpm. Okay, right. So these are the pressure variations with respect to the position of the engine. Now we can see ignition lag. Where ignition lag is more? Ignition lag is more for 3000 rpm. Ignition lag is more for 3000 rpm. And it is less for 2000 rpm, and due to the more ignition lag, pressure rise is less, we can see. And due to less ignition lag, pressure rise is more for the 1000 rpm. Next, compression ratio. So compression ratio increasing, what will happen when compression ratio increases? Compression ratio is nothing but increasing the pressure inside the engine cylinder, right? So higher compression ratio increases the pressure and temperature of the working mixture inside the engine cylinder, and increased compression ratio reduces the clearance volume. As we know, if you want to increase the compression ratio, the air has to be compressed further and further. If you compress further and further, what will happen? The clearance volume will be decreased, and therefore increase in the density of the charge. Yes or no? As volume decreases, the density of the charge will increase, okay, during the burning. This increases the peak pressure, because if the charge is having higher density, pressure and temperature will also increases, and the total combustion duration will decrease because of the higher density charge. The time required to complete the combustion will be less. For engines having higher compression ratio, have higher flame speeds. If the combustion ratio is high, flame speed are also high. You can see. So R1, R2, R2. Higher compression ratio, higher pressures because of higher flame velocity. Same thing over here. Rate of pressure rise, higher compression ratio, higher pressure. This motoring curve is nothing but non-firing curve. Next, in inlet temperature and pressure. Higher initial pressure and temperature may help to form homogeneous mixture and the fuel mixture, and which helps in increasing the flame speed. If the inlet temperature and pressure is more, it increases the flame speed. This is possible because of overall increase in the density of the charge. And flame speed increases with increase in the intake pressure and temperature. Always our aim is to increase the flame velocity. If flame velocity is increased, ignition lag can be decreased. Okay. And next one, air-fuel ratio. The air-fuel ratio have very significant influence on the flame velocity. The highest flame speeds are obtained for richer mixture, and lowest speed obtained for the leaner mixture. Right. So leaner mixtures will take more time to complete the combustion. Richer mixture will take less time to complete the combustion. Right. So if you see in the next slide, this is the stoichiometric air-fuel ratio. This is 15 is 1. Let us stoichiometric air. And if you move towards the left, what will happen? The quantity of air will be decreased and fuel will be increased. And if you move towards the right side, air will be increased, petrol will be decreased. If you move right, that is lean mixture, more air, less fuel. If you move left side, that is a rich mixture, that is more fuel, less air. Okay. Right. If you see the velocity, this is the flame front velocity. This is a stoichiometric. If you go for lean mixture, what is happening? If you go for rich mixture, the time is increasing. The flame speed is increasing. And if you go to the rich mixture, it is decreasing, again increasing. Means the highest flame speeds are obtained with slightly rich mixture. The highest flame speeds are obtained with rich mixers. This is only time, it's not velocity. This is the time to propagate the flame. Means if the time is less, velocity is more. Where the time is less, even at point A, the time is less as compared to the lean mixture. That is the reason the highest flame speeds are obtained with slightly rich mixture. At point A, we will get more flame front velocity. You can see this is the rich pressure versus volume, rich mixture, stoichiometric, and weak mixture. Even in a combustion diagram, so rich mixture leads to higher pressure. Right, last one, spark timing. So the spark time adjust has direct effect on the flame speed, and it should before TDC. And to obtain the maximum, as we are practicing, the spark has to be advanced before TDC. And the optimum angle of advance allows the combustion to cease just after TDC, so that the maximum possible pressure is built up at a point just at the beginning of the expansion stroke. This is shows a normal curve indicating smooth running of the engine. The optimum advance angle of advance allows the combustion to cease just after TDC, right? Always the combustion has to complete immediately after TDC. Therefore, what will happen? The maximum possible pressure is built up at a point just at the beginning of the expansion stroke. After expansion, if you burn, what will happen? It is waste only. Okay, right. This is shown smooth running of the engine. Spark advance leads to increase the peak pressures inside the engine cylinder and also temperature, and it leads to the good combustion. So that the spark advance leads to the high flame velocity. And if you retard the spark, retarding the spark means by increasing the time of spark, means by if you decrease the if you increase the spark time, leads to the decrease in the peak pressure. If you delay the spark, instead of 18 degrees before TDC, if you delay by 10 degrees before TDC, that leads to lower pressures and temperatures, that leads to bad combustion. So that spark record leads to the lower flame velocity. Okay, this is the spark advancement and this is the spark retardment. Okay, so with this we'll stop today. In next class we will discuss abnormal combustion in SI engine. Any doubts in today's class, please ask me.